Thank you so much for coming back and staying, and then do some networking and then mingle with each other. That's another point of this networking section. I do hope you have learned something new about WeChat or China market. Just remember the tickets are not refundable, so you better enjoy it. Yeah, and laugh a bit more, and then and enjoy the network. If you don't, if the tips I've shared about WeChat, I know already, then just network more with everybody else. So we're gonna continue with my own PowerPoint. It's not as pretty as the one Setting IT has done before. So disclaimer, these PowerPoint are not very pretty. They're done by me, and they're really good at doing PowerPoint. The previous one was done by them. So I make sure the PowerPoint is ugly enough so everybody's looking at me, so I'm prettier. So what we have learned about branding a bit was, do you think is that another noodle company beat Kansufu Instant Noodle? No, it's the delivery. The fast-growing delivery service in China beat Instant Noodle. And what has beaten the rental company, bike companies on the East Coast is not another bigger bike rental company. Is the Obike or Mobike. Of course, they're dead now, so probably they're coming back soon. What has been chewing gum in the line of the supermarket? Before people checking out, is not another taste better chewing gum. It's because of WeChat. Because everybody's busy looking at their phone when they're queuing out for the cashier. They don't look around them anymore. So whatever beat you is not. I destroy you, but it's nothing to do with you. So it's definitely the trend nowadays. And 90% of the market is making irrational decisions than women buying bags. So it's just like I told my husband that he's the one and only British person who doesn't watch football, and I am the one and only China girl who don't buy branded bags. So that's why we click. And then we actually met in a running club, and then after the running club, we have a Carlsberg band staying there to provide beers. And after a lot of alcohol, that helps a lot. So I always tell people that 90% of people spend money to impress the people they hate. So that's the kind of money we need to take. So the thing is, I learned when I was really young, when I was 17, 18 years old, I was like, I'm just not interested in the branded bags. And then my mom said, you never buy anything in Takashimaya, but they have good business. It's nothing about you, it's about the mass market. And the other day I understood it really young. I don't give a shit about what I like. The market says so. If the market likes it, we provide. If the market doesn't like it, we don't. The market is always right. So I would never ever open a clothes shop because nobody likes whatever I like. I like $10 stuff. So about the importance of have the great exposure online. It doesn't matter Facebook or WeChat or anything. Every single person is a media company. You're gonna have to make your own branding successful. People don't really buy a logo, they buy you. If they like you, that's the first step. If they don't like you, don't even try to hard sell them anything because it will never work. Just like we had our Captain Patrick. So after watching the video, people really liked him. And then there are a bunch of billionaires from China flew in, and they were sitting like that. After he shared his article and his video, and also we made his article searchable on Renmin which is one of the biggest online media newspaper in China, and financial, 财经日报, so financial daily as well. So people are able to search him on the big credible website of China, and then after they take a look at their phone, when they turn around, the attitude changed. They'll be like, oh, Captain Patrick, can I please
get your name cut. But before that, people don't know who are you. They wouldn't want to care so much about what you're going to sell to me, right? And also they get the client from China book the really nice private room for a meeting with him to let him invest managing his their own properties in Singapore. You want to be that level. So when we're thinking about coffee, we're thinking about Starbucks. Are they the best coffee on the planet? Of course not. But they've done great branding. When we're thinking about burgers, are we thinking about McDonald's? Of course they don't have the best burger, but we think about them. So just think about in your industry. Like example, I'm doing WeChat marketing. When people thinking about WeChat, am I the top 3 people they're thinking of? Am I? I'm not thinking about, I cannot be the number 1, but can I be the top 3? They're even thinking of to recommend to their friends. So in whatever industry, at least be the top 3. And then how? Exposure. McDonald's, they have solid customer fan base from like 6 months old, like my kid, because of the Happy Meal, until as old as my mom's age, but they're still spending thousands of dollars on advertising in every single channel they can be, and why don't we? And just let people see us everywhere. So writing article and doing video is very important, and writing good quality article is more important. And we don't like to social with people, like useless social too much. So this one, this guy is chopping off the wood. The other guy is like, 怎么说啊? Sorry, China girl English no good. 放羊. Shit. Yeah, and herding shit. New word, thank you. And then you chat with him for a whole day, and then his ship is full. And how about the wood you're chopping? So please focus on what you like, and then attract the people who need your service to come to you, and then you are able to select your customers. So we've been to a lot of events that we exchange like tons of name cards, but how many name cards we throw away? Because we are not on each other's WeChat. I do not know what you like or what you don't like. But if like we're in this WeChat group, we can add each other on WeChat. We sort of know what kind of thing you like or you don't, right? For WeChat, the entry point is quite high. You need to verify by Tencent. So sometimes they're as strict as one hand hold your account and your face and your password. They verify you for weeks. So they have total rights to reject you. They don't need you. They don't think you're legit or something. They will reject you. But for Facebook, any Facebook account, as long as you pay $10, $100, you can do a campaign. So the entry point is very low for Facebook, and that actually makes a legit company easier to stand out on WeChat. So the content. So it's a bad content, it's good content. You can attract like 100 guys on Tinder with this. You attract maybe 10 guys on Tinder with this, and then I have a lot more to choose from. So close rate is 10% for anything. Then why don't I attract a lot more? That's what I told my husband before we got married as well. I said I've done my research and then I'm settling down. So the content is very, very important. You have to write some sort of content that makes people feel proud to share for you. If like a really crappy content, even you share on your WeChat moment, it's embarrassing for you, and nobody want to share that for you at all. But if you think, if you have good news or whatever, people like to share, and then you like you're the guru for something, people like to share, and then we'll share more about the articles we write for the clients. We think it's pretty smart. So for this, so the airline takes blah 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 years for 50 million users, but Pokemon Go. Yeah, another thing about Pokemon Go, like when it was so popular in Singapore, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should try to see what it is. But being a grown-up adult playing Pokemon Go on the street, I feel embarrassed. So I hide in the toilet and play with it. It's not that much fun. But it doesn't stop them to grow 15 million users within 19 days. So really, whatever you like doesn't matter. End of the day, if the consumers are paid for it, that's all. So what we need to know the users' background, of course, the demographic, age, location, income, occupation, the psychologically, and then lifestyle or whatever. So when I was promoting for my dance studio, because I'm promoting China Chinese who live in Singapore, I always say, are you lonely in Singapore? It's like been there, done that. 17 years ago, I was like here, then until you find a group of girls that we do yoga together, being healthy, and what you need to take from your husband is his credit card. That's it, and then you're in safe hands. And then you get prettier, and then you get fitter. Why not? So I call the lure the tiger off the mountain. You're the tiger. The mountain is your comfort zone. The comfort zone is, oh, I don't need to know WeChat. WhatsApp is more than enough for me. No, not true. And can I do a little survey? Like 10 years ago, when Facebook came to when Facebook just started to getting a little bit popular, do you think, because Facebook is for kids, I don't need to download one more thing in my phone. Who thought so? I did. Nobody else? At that 10 years ago, you think Facebook would get this popular? No. So at that time, I said, it's just for children, I don't need it. But how many people on Facebook now? Everybody. And Instagram as well. When Instagram just came out, it's for children, we don't need it. And look at now, people do have Instagram. And this is the starting of WeChat. If you can't beat it, be it. Because there's so many users of WeChat already. You just have to dig in there. And so this is a pool of customers, and some of them are interested in properties or beauty or whatever. We just need to use a great content to attract them to my fishbowl, and then, which is my official account, and then continually educate them bit by bit. If you don't buy condo A, you're gonna buy condo B. If you don't buy condo B, you're gonna buy condo C, because you're interested in it. We have to take something from them, their contact or their attention, and in the future we can use it for marketing. Instead of like this kind of exhibition booths, you spend tens of thousands of dollars on it. People just walk by. Why don't you put a QR code? Just let them scan. Instead of, Miss, can you please put in your name and email address, and then people don't have the time to stop by and then fill it up one by one for you. But if you have a QR code, just let them scan, they walk away, have your contact already, which is perfect. I spend so much money on the booth. Why don't I take something from people? Whoever will pass by who are interested in me. They're like really accurate targets of audience because they're there. They wouldn't go to a food fair if they don't like to eat. So take something from them with a QR code. And Chinese people are really good at negotiation. Personally, it's not a good or bad. So when I was following around my mom in the market, and when I was little, my mom always bring a huge black rubbish bag and then fill it with a newspaper. So we carried it around, and my mom said, "Well, cut close like this. I like this one." Then she will go and negotiate with the person and says, "Okay, I have a clothes shop. I just want to take two to see how that goes." So then she can get the cheapest price. So negotiating is in the Chinese culture. Don't be afraid of it if you're doing business with China Chinese. It's no harm to ask. Okay, so let's try. Yeah. So this is a video about how
the scale of development in China is like nowhere else on earth.
So this is a video about that people using shaking their phone to determine what kind of song they're going to play at the concert. So when the singer came on the stage, they do not know what kind of ABC song, which one do they like, but on the spot, you can do so through WeChat.
But their most transformative feature has been voice messaging. WeChat popularized voice messaging. Now, text messaging in Chinese is laborious. So WeChat found a way for people to send voice memos instead. It's now a ubiquitous form of communication throughout the country. So in a sense, your invention, your creation of this voice memo took the challenge of the Chinese typing and gave people an alternative.
It changed the way of the Chinese user how they use the mobile phone. Ever since the voice message, we kept changing the behavior of Chinese user.
WeChat's innovations have created a digital bridge for populations and cultures that are new to social media. Inspired by the pictorial nature of the Chinese language, the company has embraced a logic of visual communication that has gone global. Now, what does a surprised bunny, a naked frog, and a flaming horse have in common? Generally speaking, practically nothing. However, if you're Chinese and you use WeChat, at least their parents, WeChat isn't just impacting the culture, but it's literally beginning to transform it. I'm heading to Dali in the Yunnan province to find out how WeChat's innovations are changing the way that people interact with the world around them. Now, why are they very excited? Check this out. This is one of the first ever crowdsourced settlers. By that I mean, before their favorite artist comes on, these guys will shake their phones to vote for the songs that they want to hear. In other words, the crowd is involved in transforming the concert based upon their involvement.
It looks like the whole nation has Parkinson, you know?
First song picked by the crowd, sung by the band, crowdsourced concert experience. They shook when they voted, their voices were heard, and they got what they wanted.
Okay, so like many years ago, my dad actually refused to go from beeper to mobile phone until the China Telecom called him. You're the last 10 people who have beeper. We're closing down the operation. You're gonna have to let us go. And then he says, okay, I'm gonna change to mobile phone. And so how many people refused to change from Nokia to iPhone at the beginning? It took us some time to do so. And then my dad refused to use credit card. He just like cashed a bunch of cash. And then once he was so drunk, he gave the whole envelope, 3,000 baht to the taxi driver. My mom was so mad at him. And how many of us refuse to use QR code instead of to let people scan instead of like giving name card on the booth? It is a trend. We're gonna have to follow, and then if we follow as soon as possible, we have the benefit. And so every single newspaper you open up, there's something about China on the newspaper for sure. Then or online or whatever. So it is a trend. China is getting big. If you want to survive in China or you want to target Chinese in Singapore, 1 to 2 million of us, you're gonna have to use WeChat. You just have no choice. Honestly, you have no other choice besides using WeChat. So China has been the center of the world long time, and then because of Cultural Revolution, we were back, but now we are coming back again. I always tease my husband because he's so hairy, and I said, look, it's a monkey and a hairy white man and Chinese. You guys are on the way to the better revolution. He's never happy about it. Yeah, history repeats itself. We refused to use Facebook before, but look at now. So we're gonna take a look at this article. Because of Hong Kong riot, so this Golden Week in China, a lot of people coming to Singapore. And I know you see a lot of Chinese of us everywhere, but only 7% of the China population even has a passport. Yes, it's a lot of us everywhere. So it's only 7% have passport. So it's a huge potential market in the future. People from first-tier city, they came to Singapore before, but second-tier city, they want to come to Singapore. Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, if they want to go overseas, this is the first stop. They're going to come anyway. So if they're here, they know you exist, they will spend money here. The tourists are not here to make money, they come here to spend money. So we so yeah, it's 8% than usual. So later, my colleague David will show us the exact data of tourists, like right now in Singapore. That's just times 100 US per person. That's a lot of money to take from. So for the condos I mentioned just now, the first 3 quarters, the 30% are sold to mainland Chinese and 8% sold to Hong Kong Chinese. This is the data. So that's why we're doing a lot of work for PropNext as well. The top, quite a few top sellers of PropNext, if they are Chinese, and then they can hit it there. We help them somewhere, somehow, previously. And so why WeChat marketing is more efficient. Look at this pie. So if we create a content for you, and then we can track every single week to see this content is shared in your WeChat moment or shared in someone else's WeChat moment. So people voluntarily to share it without you paying them because they think it's good content. We do A/B tests for the content because if a marketer is telling you that I guarantee this content will go viral, don't trust it. It's just like, how do you know? How do you know which content will go viral? How do you know what the market will like? We do A/B tests. So if this one shared more on the WeChat moment, and we will write more like this. If people don't like this, we don't write this anymore. We just do the customers, because we write this article is not to entertain you. I'm not your PA. I'm writing this to entertain the whole market. And then then we can see that if I think this content is so good, I deliberately private message to you. And that means it's a fantastic content if a pie of that is more. So we can analyze what kind of content works, what doesn't. Instead of you spend $40,000 on the page of Straits Time, and you do not know how many people really saw it, and how many people will make a purchase or they don't, and do they even like it. So in my opinion, a good content, sometimes I make 4, 2, 1. 4 is knowledgeable content to, like, let's say I'm a beauty product. The first content says, these brands contain too much lead, don't buy, or something that you don't want to die early. No, that is too extreme, sorry. But something like to think you are very knowledgeable, you know a lot of things about cosmetics, and at the bottom is your advertise. And then 2 is like half knowledgeable content and then half advertise. One is pure advertise. Do not let your friends guess what do you do. Don't let them guess because they will never guess it right. You have to tell them what do you do and what do you sell. The hard advertise at the end. So as I said, the Tencent Southeast Asia Development Manager is in Singapore very often. So we're helping this Bakute, Yahua Bakute to do the WeChat because the newer generation, or for somebody has been in Singapore for 18 years, I do not know them. We only know Songfa Bakute because it's really popular on WeChat, but other Bakute we don't know. But actually their Bakute is really, really good. So we need to start educating the newer generations. So we brought her around, and we went to National University of Singapore, and then we went to Shanghai Airline. Basically, they're really, really spending a lot of time and effort. This lady comes once a month to promote the overseas WeChat. So I will see a lot. I can see a lot of function which only works in China previously. It will work in overseas. Content importance. They have like 8 million followers. One like. What's the point? I have 200 WeChat friends, but if it's sharing a lot, I can see the view. The view of WeChat is real because you have to open the article, you have to read it for 6 seconds. That counts as a view. Instead of Facebook, I can buy fake likes. So sometimes you see Facebook, they have like how many millions of fans, but actually the content is only 1 like. That speaks volume. But for Facebook, for WeChat, it has to be real. Oh, and also, so for Microsoft, they have 8 million followers, but for Bill Gates, it's 20 million followers. People like human beings, they don't like logo. So you have to, personal branding is always important as well. So we've done a lot of coaching in Singapore Retail Institution, which is sponsored by subsidized heavily by the government, and Singapore Retail Center as well. So now it comes to WeChat moment advertise. Oh, okay. I would like to come to this first. Metro. So everybody knows at Centerpoint, Metro closed down, right? So we wrote an article for them actually. But Metro didn't pay us. But why we still write an article for them? Because we have a logistic company to advertise for. So the title is Metro closed down as low as 10%. You can grab as much as you want. Logistic company, blah, blah, gonna send it back home for you. So people are lazy because they do not even want to think about what they want to buy. You know what? I will do it for you. How many percent of people buying cosmetic? And so number 1 is cosmetic, number 2 is shoes, number 3 is what, and then at the end of the day you realize, oh damn, I follow all your schedule, I bought too much, and you know what, you don't need a logistic company. So this is a logistic company advertise. So this is we only have 500 coupon, grab it now. Sometimes people will say like, oh, this is such a good deal, I'll come back another time. They will never come back another time. Get them pay something, even just 10 minutes to $2, they will use it. So when they're reading the article, they're happy about it, they're excited about it, get something now. So they also use our WeChat moment advertise as well. Later David is able to show you the data as well. So now we're gonna share something about WeChat moment. WeChat moment advertise. basically, in China, we don't have much privacy, and then we are quite used to it. And but that is perfect for the marketers, though. So the next I'm going to talk about is WeChat mini. Oh, okay. Oh. Let's get some case studies. So all of this later David will share about the. So this is the form of the advertise, how it looks like, and this is your WeChat moment, and then you are not friends with this guy at all. So you will say 推广 means impressions, or you will see an advertised line there, but you can only see 3 times a day. Go ahead.
Just now the WeChat moment that you shared, right? There was a QR code after the coupon for the cost pool.
You hold on to it for 3 seconds and straight away you can buy it. Yeah. Within the WeChat you can do that. And then that can link to your website where is PayPal or Visa. You can do that as well. So it doesn't have to be WeChat Pay. Yeah.
People contact in the WeChat will get to be Chinese.
No. Our client is Maybank, and Maybank everything is in English. It's fine too. But
English also, how could you reach the Chinese?
because they don't want to reach the Chinese, they're reaching the 2 million users in Malaysia. Yeah. If you want to reach Chinese, you better use Chinese. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I'll continue. But
So in terms of the population you have within Singapore, is it mostly Singaporean Chinese that are speaking Chinese, or is it ones that speak English as well?
we have, you're right, probably 80-90% the Chinese who is using WeChat, but we see a lot more Angmos or Singaporean locals are using WeChat as well. But they just do not know the function really well, but that takes a little bit education curve to get them up within a year. I can see a lot more locals are using WeChat, because now we're slowly changing the concept. WeChat is WhatsApp already. Yeah, you can subscribe the channel, and then you can interact and do some games with your friends, also like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. And then you can during the WeChat moment advertise, you are actually able to add your friends as well. So this is the CDL we did for them. So whatever you need, we're prepared. You prepared Singapore XX condo. You cannot miss it again. Of course, there's a new condo coming up sometime, somewhere, somehow. But of course, this is the line I'm gonna say. Clicking into this advertise, and then this is the how does it look like, and then you scroll down. This is the name and the contact number. So we can arrange a viewing for you straight away. It's within the WeChat. It's within the WeChat. So you press this, you're still on WeChat, and then we create this the whole thing. The whole thing is called WeChat Moment Advertise. We create it for you. Yeah.
Okay, so within WeChat itself, you have a lead generating format for the
Yes. Yes. So like Ferrari, there was advertised here. Later I will share in the group chat. So Ferrari, you click on this, and then that's a test drive. So you're gonna register for the test drive. So this is the numbers. It's a lot more now because people are not going Hong Kong. They come to Singapore. We will do it later. David will show us. So Grab is our customer as well, and 11/11 is coming. It's called Singles Festival. Yeah, everybody knows that. So 1111. It's actually four groups. Actually, it's a group of uni kids in Nanjing. They were so, I'm so fed up being single. Let's celebrate it. And then it just became viral in China. And this Scoot is our client as well. As I mentioned, there was a story telling, so we can get a lot of saying how good you are, people don't trust you. Just another person gonna say, that's why you got Captain Patrick. Yes, so like for Prop Next, you have to have this tick, and otherwise people don't think you're that legit. So on this side, you can see what's the ACRA number and da 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 da. This is very legit. Previously, you're not, a lot of people, I have to say, got burnt by WeChat because you need to have a China company to set up and verify for this. Okay, that China company is holding all your fans' data. And then, okay, I spent so much money, I collect this amount of fans. And so the China company said, you have to give me $500,000, I will renew for you. What can you do? But this, you hold everything of yourself. Like Tencent will call you directly to verify with you. It's very complicated process, but it's definitely save the hassle in the future. Please do so with Singapore, with your own company's ACRA, yeah. Yeah, so this is the data. So for this logistic company that we did metro for them, we spent 5,000 RMB and we get this kind of hit, 100K impressions. And we spend all of that, we get all of this. So everything is data. You have to prove with data that how many people have seen this. So this is another number. We did 2 rounds for them, 3rd of May, 2nd of May. But after that, there's still some organic. So in Singapore, it could last until like maybe let's say 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. But if you spend this amount of money in Shanghai, it will burn within 3 seconds because just a lot of people. And then once it's seen, it counts a 1 impression. That's it. So we have to really narrow down if we are going to target in Shanghai, maybe CBD, and then this little area, people who like Hao, they don't. So yeah, Cecilia. So we helped the property agent, Jasmine, wrote this, and immediately she sold 2 condos. Because I know Martin more than or something, we helped them sell so many to Chinese. Yeah, so look at this title. 第一套组屋是要组屋还是买公寓？当心被套牢。Be careful, don't get trapped for your first purchase of house. So that will attract a lot of people. Click in and then read it through, and then they'll say, hey, I'm really helpful. I would like to share it on my WeChat moment. So that's how the articles gone viral. So we have 16,000 clicks on it. And for the renovation client, they have 23 meeting the. It's just like if you look pretty on Tinder, there will be more matches. If you don't look pretty, there will be less matches. And this is for 那个藿香正气. It's a Chinese medicine, you know. It was like, wow, how do we do Chinese medicine? But actually, we had 52,000 clicks on it, and then people all talking about how it's been helpful, you know. This is much, much better than you spend so much money on advertising everywhere, but people just tell you how much they benefit from your service. So first of all, your product has to be good. We once helped a restaurant. We generate a lot of traffic to their restaurant. The problem is they don't have enough waitress and they don't have enough food. So the more people I generate is not actually good for you. So your product has to be good. And then we wrote articles for property agencies agents as well. Like everybody looks same in the profile picture. You are selling the same condo. You are selling 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. So we have to tell the stories. Like for the mooncake, nobody would care what's the ingredients inside. We care about the story of Chang'e fly to the moon, or 过桥米线, that's noodles across the bridge. That shows the love from the wife to the husband or something. People don't really remember the ingredients. People remember the stories. So we will find the story for you. That's why like we help Captain did that as well. So for this course, we realized how many SME bosses in Singapore actually are looking at WeChat. So they came to us 3 days or 4 days before this event. They still have half of the tickets not sold, like 1,300 tickets not sold. And then we helped them wrote an article and then spread it out on Singapore Eye. And within 3 days, it's all sold out. And then we actually, when you buy this ticket, you have to be an NTUC member. So within 3 days, we crashed the website like so many times because NTUC never experienced somebody, all of that people go on that platform for a short amount of time. So like people borrowing each other's NTUC member cards to buy this ticket to attend this event. So why we need to do the official account? We need to, as I said, it's an ocean of fishes. You need to catch the right fishes and then store them in your bowl. And then it's a long process. It's not a one is dancing. It will never work that way. And then so you build your branding, and then you create the stickiness with your clients. And then whenever you have a promotion, you promote in your platform. If they don't like purple clothes today, they will like white clothes tomorrow. One day or the other, I'm gonna have to make a purchase from the client. So this is for the confinement client, and then they say we adding like 100 clients already, and then say my computer is crashed. My handphone, my computer all crashed. So like this is for the Duran we sell for them, and this is for memory costs, and these are the real feedback from the clients. And of course for F45, as I mentioned just now, we need to find the right people for right franchise investors and right members from the China market. So this is where we are, and this is the map. Since I sold 22, it's become much less green now, which I'm so proud of. And now we talk about mini program. It's a short video for us to watch.
Before, the very first email was ever sent out, no one knew that information could be sent instantaneously. Before the World Wide Web was invented, no one knew that the whole world would be available through a computer screen. As the world evolves, the tools that people use to connect with the world will also keep changing. Maybe the future can bring even more possibilities. Just imagine when the tools we use are better integrated with our needs. And only here, when needed. This is the thinking behind many programs. It's a way of simplifying and reducing tools to their essentials. Making them lighter and more direct in serving their purpose. It's also a way of evolving. Services. To satisfy the user's needs instantly. With this change, it will inspire us to imagine even more. To view time and space with new dimensions. And with this new mindset, things will not just be things, but also be entryway to new services like our fingertips, connect everything and life's possibilities.
So basically, mini program is a little app that's implemented inside WeChat. So you don't need to download. So just now when I saw the McDonald's, so now McDonald's is having this promotion. You download the app, you have the new deals or whatever. My kids love it. But when the staff told me you have to download, I'm like, really? Do I have to download another one? But for WeChat mini program, you can search for this little app inside WeChat, and you don't need to download it. And after you use it, you just dispose it. So this is like complementing with official accounts that will get more attraction. It says like subscribe, not only subscribe, just look at our mini program, and then there's a lot of deals on it, and then you'll get 50% off on this and this and this. So they bought a French fries, then without knowing it's a deal, they will not buy another burger. That is the same. But the best thing about mini program is a cost of 10% of any application development. So develop an app is really, really expensive. But mini program is much, much cheaper, and then almost same function. You don't have to, and then you don't have to download it. So this is how to use a mini program. And you can share this mini program with your friends, which is the easiest. You scan the QR code on McDonald's, and you'll see all the deals on it. And you don't have to download an app. After you use it, just dispose it. So this is about how to use the mini program. Is quite new. It's from 2014. If I'm not remember wrongly. 16? Right, okay. I'm getting old. Okay, so Pinduoduo is a very successful mini program. Within half a year, they collect 200 million users because people do not need to download an app. So when people ask me to download an app, I really hesitate. I was like, is it worth it? And I have so many apps I'm not using already in my phone. So WeChat mini program is designed for offline stores and traditional enterprises. So it's especially good for F&B business. You can, especially like let's say Raffles Place, I know what kind of food or salad I want, and I already ordered on my mini program, and I'll pick it up at 12:30. I beat the crowd, and I get there and then pick it up. That's it. Or I know I'm going to this place for lunch, and I can take a queue number on my mini program. That will help a lot with Haidilao, I guess. The queuing is insane. So with F&B and also for real estate, you can select which area you're looking at. You can narrow down the price. You can narrow down 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. Then you have much more accurate search result at the end of the day. And this is a little example of the mini program we created before. So then you can ask them for their contact. So get something from the consumers. Yeah. So people say, do I need to have a mini program because I already have an official account? It's just like another way of getting more fan base to your official account, and then you can have more conversion. Actually, you can. It's fine. You can only have mini program without official account, but nobody knows this mini program exists. What's the point of even having it? So they help each other a lot. So like, let's say for McDonald's, they scan the code and then they know the daily deals and everything, then they can make the purchase, and then your WeChat does remember what did you do last time as well. So then you can have content in it, copywriting inside the mini program to help with your promotion, and that helps with people spreading spreading your content as well. Yeah, and feedback report, and so basically it's a mini website and mini app. So it's mini program is for basically it's okay for everything, like for seafood purchase online, and for houses, and for F&Bs, especially for F&Bs. F&B mini program is very useful. So people can order on the WeChat. You don't need to have an app. You don't need an iPad for every single table. And for houses as well. And you can shrink down narrow down the search you can have. So now we come to the Q&A. Feel free to pass around the mic, and so Christy, come join me. Christy is in charge of our mini program faculty.
Actually, my English is not very good, so some technical part, if you want to ask me, maybe I need my good friend Yan Sheng have to translate.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Hi, yes. My name is Abel. Like I check for a mini program, when I try to search in Singapore, I can't seem to find any unless someone shares this with me.
Yes.
So
The what program, sorry?
mini program.
Yes.
If I try to search, I can't find anything locally unless someone shares this to me. So is this a feature only in Singapore, or what is it?
Yes, so far in Singapore, the mini program, many users is not so many users using the mini program. Now we are our mini program project is start from this year, May. Yes, so we will introduce more local brands to join us. Yeah.
So for now, mini programs are only targeted to people in China at the moment, or with a China official. Like there's a different. There's I think there's a difference between like a China WeChat account and people outside China's WeChat account, right?
Okay. Yeah. So this part I want to use Mandarin to answer your question. OK， 可以吗 ？OK， 我想讲一下，现在我想讲一下，就是刚刚杨老师有说过，我们如果已经有了微信公众号的话，我还需要微信小程序吗
If I have a WeChat official account, do I still need a mini program?
OK， 其实这两个的方向和定位其实是完全不一样的。微信公众号其实对于我们来说是为了传递我们的品牌信息，包括比如说我现在好像我现在要树立一个品牌一个企业，我想要传递给大家来实现我的品牌的曝光。
It's different purposes for both of them. For official accounts, we actually spreading the branding out.
但是 mini program 它更像一个工具，它是类似于你，比如说好像你的 Facebook 有很多的，你的 fan page 有很多的fans， 但是你希望这些 fans 能够变现，你希望它能够通过它能够达成某种交易，所以说你需要这个工具来去
Mini
变
program
现。
is a tool, just like on the Facebook you have lots of fans, but you want them to do the purchase. How do they do it? Through mini program.
所以说我们现在面向于海外的 mini program 的用户其实是一样的，因为很多海外的企业也好， 品牌主也好，他们也是希望获取更多的客户，这些客户是来自于微信的用户，所以说这个是不分国界的。
So we want everybody wants more customers, and then they are WeChat users. So the WeChat users from everywhere, basically.
Meaning to say, WeChat is the same for China users and everywhere else. Is it the same? Because the last time I went to China, I noticed there's some difference between the WeChat in China and the WeChat that we see in Singapore.
OK， 是这样子的，的确在海外的微信，在有些功能上和我们中国的微信，它有一些功能还没有就是说跟进，就是还有一些可能你在国内，在中国看到微信，它有非常多的功能，比如说像小程序的地图，但是在海外还没有。
There's a lot of functions in China WeChat, but overseas we don't have it just yet. Example, mini programs, map, but it will come to overseas sooner or later. Yeah.
对，但是我们不排除在未来的1-2年内，我们海外也会开启微信的小程序地图。但那个时候，如果各位企业和品牌主，如果是希望客户在第一时间在地图上看到您的 logo， 所以说你必须要拥有微信小程序。
But then we predict 1 to 2 years, the mapping will come to Southeast Asia, and then by then you would like your users to see your logo on the mini program map. So basically, mini program you can sense the restaurants or shops within how many years?
It's unlimited.
Unlimited. So you can search nearby.
Yes.
So you can search nearby, and then if you exist, there's a very possible chance it will go to you. But if you don't, it's slim chance.
I want to choose the location just like East Coast. I want to looking for what else the restaurant over there. Then we just type East Coast restaurant. They will have this. Okay.
Mr. Virtually, 我想请问一下，就是我们海外的这个微信，这个支付的功能怎么去达成？就刚刚那个小程序 mini program， 它的问题就是你要成交多嘛，可是那个 payment 怎么去解决 ？OK。还有，就请问一下，就是说那个我们现在那个微信不是要 link to the bank card？So 如果我们这个 open account in Singapore, the China bank is it able to link to our
OK， 这个问题因为涉及到微信支付的问题，所以说我来回答你。目前在海外，我们和微信支付就是说达成的合作是，我们会通过第三方的支付平台来去连接微信的支付，然后这个微信的支付的汇率是根据每天中联的那个汇率，就是中国银行的汇率来去换算的。
For WeChat, we need to use a third party for the WeChat Pay so far, and so the rate, the currency rate is go according to China Bank.
So may I know who is the third party?
It's for our operation. Sorry, I cannot tell.
So means I can pay via the mini program to make a purchase.
可以的，对。
So there's 2 ways. Like if you do not have WeChat Pay, as I mentioned, it just link. There's like one of the column at the bottom of official account. They say payment, and then it can link to your website. So your website will have PayPal, Visa, and all of this. So that works too. But if you want to accept WeChat Pay, we do have a third party for online. For offline, we work with Nets, which is the biggest Nets company in Singapore. But online, we are able to find a third party for you, and then we will disclose that to our clients. Thank you. Anyone else?
Since we're in the topic of payment, so my name is Gerald. I sell Mercedes-Benz cars. A question on the payment for example, if you have to be
For the car, cash, China people.
And I think you pay that much cash because of the taxes and you pay a lot more. there's a way that we could have done that through WeChat Pay, where every month it's a subscription payment that's paid. Is this something that's already available on the platform, and how easy is it for a Singaporean company to adopt that into our system?
So we will need to work with the bank, I think. We can't say that this person is legit enough to have the...
But in China, is that already happening where people are doing monthly subscription payments?
Yes, it's true, WeChat, yes. But Singapore,
So far in Singapore,
I don't think we have
yeah, we
it
don't
yet.
think so. Yes, not yet. But in the future, we are looking for some way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for a second question, back to David's point, was he was saying that Singaporean companies, when he searched, they did not have a presence or they did not request anything on the mini program. So would that be an issue for us here today if we wanted to do a mini program and local Chinese research for my company email, it was Mercedes, and somehow my mini program
They will find you. They will find you.
Yes.
But just not that many things. She said it started 2016.
Yeah.
Not that many people start doing it. Just WeChat official account, it started like 2012 or something, right? So people start only being well educated enough to understand that. So mini program will still take some while for.
If you have interest, later we will show some our mini program backends and the user interface, and you can share this.
My name is Rojo. I'm actually selling seafood. What happens if my customer orders seafood from me,
Yeah.
then I send a parcel to China,
Yeah.
then is it subjected to those quarantine
Definitely.
regulations?
Of course. Yeah,
So
definitely.
how am I going to overcome this?
You
Traditional we used to ship by containers to,
Right.
to the buyers of China. Let's say right now B2C, we are going to sell direct to the customer. Then how we going to overcome this kind of limitation?
I would totally suggest you sell to the 2 million Chinese in Singapore first. And then, probably one of them actually have some seafood connection or food connection back in China, and then that will just make everything a lot easier. The license will kill you, I think. So, it's a lady here.
Can I check how do we start up a WeChat corporate account?
How we start a corporate account. So you will need your ACRA, and then we'll give you a very tedious form to fill up, and then Tencent will verify you. If they think you're good enough, they will approve you. If you don't think you're good enough, they will not. And then probably once you need to provide us your company bank account, not personal, a company bank account, because from time to time they will send like 25 cents or 32 cents into your account. If your company exists, you can receive it. If your company not exist, they will wipe off the whole WeChat.
Any fee involved?
Say again?
Any fee involved?
To set up?
Yes.
Oh, you definitely can do it yourself, but it's very tedious, but we can do it for you. I will share the cost very soon after the question.
How can we set up ourselves? We want to create the WeChat account by ourselves.
It's very tedious, but you can do it yourself, but we will charge a fee for it if we do it for you. Yeah. Thank you.
Are you able to be an admin of a WeChat corporate account if you don't have a China bank account?
Yes, 100%. It's new. So previously, you're gonna have to have a China company registered in China to have the official account, but now, no, you don't. I almost just, sorry, I forgot to ask David to show the numbers. Remind me that, sorry. What do you want to say?
I just want to say it's just open source, right?
It's very new, and then you do it to use your own. Yeah, one more here, please. Any mic?
Hi, thanks. Because for us, we are influencer marketing agency, and so we find that WeChat, there's also a way of influencers, which are those who have a lot of friends, and maybe they have some significant group chats. So how do an agency like you manage that part of the business? Do you have access to maybe 500 group chats with 500 members and group them by category, like how can we approach this in a more scalable way? Because I mean, 公众号 public accounts, they're great, but they are more like a one-side communication. But from the peer-to-peer communication, we also think that moments and group chats are a good approach. But I think the question is, how do we approach it more systematically? Yeah.
But personally, if I see this